Hey, let's get back to it here, man. My Falcons are doing terrible. That quarterback's not quarterbacking like they thought he would.
Yeah.
Oh, where's our boy going to go, Neely? Has
Well,
your meter changed? I think the last time we talked, you were feeling a little Vegas. Were you feeling Vegas the last time we talked?
I'm still feeling Vegas. I'm willing to let me say something. Let me clarify to the folks out there at home. This ain't something I heard Coach Prime say. This ain't nothing I've talked about with Shedeur. I don't know what team Coach Prime would try to help him get to, or what Coach Prime would tell some team not to draft him, other than the Browns. I don't think he want to go into the Browns. Having said that, this is just my football knowledge. I right now I'm saying Raiders and New York Giants. I think the Giants, having let go Daniel Jones, are certainly in the quarterback market. I think the Raiders certainly will be, in the quarterback market, and those are two teams, that will be picking very high in the draft or have enough capital that they could trade up to the first pick in the draft. So I'm still saying that sweepstakes, if you will, for Shedeur is somewhere between Vegas, New York, Charlotte, and the Browns. But I don't think all of them would quote unquote qualify as far as where he would want to play. So I'm saying Vegas or New York. I'm saying Vegas. The Raiders or the Giants, I think, are in the front seat for the Shedeur Sanders sweepstakes right now.
All right, New York is an interesting look, and obviously with them cutting Daniel Jones after giving him an extension and then cutting him, Shedeur has played outside in the cold. Mm-hmm. He has the acumen, the professionalism, I've been around famous people my whole life. I'm not going to get shook in the mean New York City press. That's an interesting destination. It would seem like a good fit.
Yeah, I think environmentally, Vegas and Miami were like rate high on his personal list. The weather, the life, fits him. But I also think what you're saying about New York is spot on. Like, we just have to understand, man, in this transition from NIL to NFL, there's no bigger media market space, advertising space in the world than the capital of the world, which is New York City. And so to be a quarterback for the New York Football Giants, you're all over Madison Avenue. You're on every subway. You really wouldn't even need anything outside of New York from an advertising standpoint. So, playing in markets like Los Angeles and New York, that's a lot. Like there's some nice incentives that come along with that could make being on a team that was bad enough to draft you. I can put up with this till we turn it around.
I mean, he's already been up in Times Square, right? Like his ads are already in New York.
Yeah, his Nike ad, which you can see my great physique, my belly behind him, is in Times Square and other places. So he has a footprint there. He's done a lot of work and continues to work with Smack Entertainment. They have a stronghold there, with Strahan being a partner in it. So, and same thing with Vegas. The Vegas head coach is represented by Smack as well. So there are a lot of connectivities and personalities that already know each other. But when you just look at where people's records are right now and where they're likely to be picking in the draft, I'm putting New York and Vegas up there, man.
All right, we will see. Travis, have you thought about where he might land? What might he be? People talk about this every week. Is he going to be a receiver? Is he going to be a DB? Is he going to be both?
I think at some point he's absolutely going to be both, just for the asses and seats factor, just for the marketing factor. But I think out the gate, if I'm a GM, I'm picking him as a receiver. And let me tell you why. People like scoring. People like touchdowns. People are entertained by that. And statistically, probability wise, it is much more advantageous to get a prolific receiver a touchdown pass than it is to get a prolific DB a pick six with an interception. As far as where he goes, I think you kind of flip it. What teams out there are bad but have already locked up a quarterback? And I'm thinking about the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like, they have Trevor Lawrence. He's about to, I guess, be going toward his second deal soon, but they have no reasons to be unloading him. But they're bad, and they're going to get a high pick. And so when you look at teams like that have a quarterback, the Saints, could come in and get a Travis, or Your Falcons could come in
They're working
and
on
get
it. They're
Travis.
going backwards.
Yeah, they're absolutely going backwards. So I think people, who have a QB locked up but don't have all the other pieces, how can you not? Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. When you're in the NFL and you're bad and you need a quarterback, you got to draft a quarterback. If you have a quarterback and you're bad, you have to, without a doubt, draft the best player available. And I think these guys are going to go back to back. I think Shedeur Sanders is the number one quarterback in the draft and will be the first quarterback taken. I think that will be with the first pick. And I think Travis is going right behind him to another team at number 2.
Do you think the quality that stands out the most for Shedeur, is it the completion percentage? Is it something else?
I'm going to go completion percentage with an asterisk because we need to look deeper at what that means. You look at that he has had a different offensive coordinator every year of his college career. When you look at the duress that he's been under, particularly at Colorado, and still with that completion record, I think that with his NFL exposure from coaches, and not only just his personal family, that completion record shows you so much more about him. And when you look at this guy passing at 75% completion, that means he knows how to get that ball near to the receiver. He knows how to do it under duress. A team picking high is a team that's been playing under duress. I think that is his number one tribute. And in fact, it's his leading statistic. He is the highest completion percentage in college football. He may be second in touchdowns and third in yardage. Maybe you can flip that, but he's number one in his completion percentage. And that says a lot about his accuracy and ability to throw under duress with accuracy.
All right, it is the Tolly and Neely Show, the Neely and Tolly Show. I like to give Neely top billing. You know these two faces, okay? It is the Pregame Show Network. Let's talk Jackson State a little bit. They are one game away from going back to the Celebration Bowl. They're in the SWAC championship game against Southern University this weekend. Dominated the SWAC postseason awards, Player of the Year, Coach of the Year. I think they had 11 all-conference players. It might have been 11 first. No, it couldn't have been 11 first. Well, maybe. I don't know. They had a lot of people. I just saw the email before we went on. TC Taylor, I think, has done an effective job of stepping out of the Deion Sanders shadow, if you will, at Jackson State. The first year was, it was okay. Didn't result in a championship or a bowl game, but a dominant second season. It is hard to follow really good and really popular people, and I think we should, not wearing a hat, but hats off for the job TC has done.
Absolutely. Hats off to him. Very proud of him. He is that first branch off of Deion Sanders' coaching tree. They are forever connected, and what I mean by that is when you have a head coach who hires his assistant, when those assistants go on to be head coaches, TC Taylor is the first one of Coach Prime's assistant coaches and coordinator, for that matter, to become a head coach on his own. And it just so happens to be at the same school back to back. And so there was always going to be that shadow, that passing of the baton. But I never saw that as a negative. And I don't think, TC Taylor, did as well. And I know Coach Prime, doesn't. And it just shows you that sometimes you have to give coaches time to instill their culture. Not that there was something wrong with the Deion Sanders culture, but that was Deion Sanders' way of doing things. And so you look at the first year when TC Taylor had to get in his staff and get the building to look the way he wanted it to look and get things where he wanted it. You had some bumps in the road, just like Coach Prime had here in Colorado. But look what happens the next season when you have a full season of your own organization and your own culture in place. Other than the loss to Grambling, which was a quote-unquote non-conference loss, he goes on to win all the other games in the SWAC. And I think that put him at 10-0 in the SWAC and in the SWAC championship, representing the East. Southern, I think, has 7 wins, 8 if you count the Bayou Classic now. And so just heads and shoulders from program to staff to coaching to outcomes, the best team in the SWAC this year. Damn right he should be Coach of the Year. And, when you're Coach of the Year, it means you got some good players around you. They should be Players of the Year. But the job right now for TC Taylor, I know he'll tell you the same thing. The SWAC is hosted by the team with the best record as Jackson State. It's going to be a home game. You want to win it. You want to get the Celebration Bowl, and you want to be that SWAC team to win the Celebration Bowl, something Coach Prime got there twice and wasn't able to do. So I like the odds. I like the way that the TC train is rolling. I'm guaranteeing that they're going to take care of business there at home and get over Southern for the SWAC championship.
It'll be a good one. And interesting there. They have to go right into the Celebration Bowl. There's no week off this year. The MEAC opponent, South Carolina State, they will have had some time to prepare, rest, whatever it is they want to do, however they want to handle it. Always a unique situation in the Celebration Bowl. And maybe, it depends on how you're looking at it, maybe why the MEAC dominates. Because they definitely get more rest each year. So some people say that's not a thing, but you decide.
No, rest is a thing. I think there's a sound theory to that, having an advantage. You don't want rest to turn into rust. On Sunday nights on the Pregame Show Network, I do a live show, Unc and Chico, Sunday Nights Live, and we had our very own Dr. Charles Bishop on for a segment we call For the Culture, and we talked about that nuance. Jackson State had a week off for the SWAC championship. Southern had the Bayou Classic and was able to win it. You're not playing somebody's record, you're playing who they are now. And I think Southern has things rolling. They're a better team right now than they were when Jackson State played them in the regular season. So that's a dynamic where you're going to see is did rest benefit Jackson State more, or did Southern getting momentum and getting the Bayou Classic win benefit them more? And then that same dynamic takes place to whoever goes to the Celebration Bowl. It'll be Jackson State. You're facing a team that's well rested, and you're coming off maybe a little battered and bruised. So we'll see, said the blind man.
And you've been to it twice. What is the Jackson State vibe in Atlanta?
It's much like the vibe that you've always missed in New Orleans because you've never been. Jackson to Atlanta is a straight shot on I-20. So Jackson State is going to travel well. And I think there's just a lot of fans out there, whether they love Coach Prime or feel indifferent about him or hate him because he left, they want to see TC Taylor get to the Celebration Bowl and do what Coach Prime couldn't do, which is win one. So I predict that you're going to have a bump up in attendance, maybe not to the degree that you had the 2 years of Prime, but a bigger attendance than you had than last year without him, for sure.
All right, let's jump back into a little Colorado conversation before I have to acknowledge some of our fans out there here on the Neely and Tolly Show. The running game at Colorado was supposed to suffer after the transfer portal robbed the running back room. No slight to anybody that left. People have to do what they have to do. How did that run game work out this year, Neely?
It was the one facet of the team that I was surprised in a letdown kind of way. I figured even with a prolific quarterback and Shedeur Sanders, even with us going to be a pass-heavy team, that was going to take so much attention with the defense playing back that was going to open up run opportunities. We got nowhere near having a 1,000-yard rusher. We had a running back room by committee. That running back room did not falter as much as the pundits thought it would when there was that mass exodus, because you brought in a true freshman in Isaiah and also in Micah, transfer from Ohio State, kid from Memphis named Dallin Hayden. So the room held its own. But I think that is a tremendous upside going into this signing day in this portal, because there's a lot of opportunity in the run game in Colorado, because you just signed the number 2 player in the nation in Juju. He's going to be a true freshman quarterback, and you're not going to be able to put the weight of everything on him like you did with a mature, no pun intended, grown Shedeur Sanders. He's going to need help in the run game. So I think Coach Prime is going to be in this portal and going to bring in a running back, with some proven ability and maybe 1 year left that's trying to get to the league.
And a 9-3 team in the portal. That doesn't hurt, right? Like people in the portal last year, came on the faith, right? They had the faith, but you have now seen the works.
Yeah, you have what's called proof and concept. This theory that we were working on here in Colorado is now, beyond that. It is law. You see it. It is etched in stone. And you know that you can come here in 1 year and propel yourself to the NFL. You look at LaJohntay Wester, who left the state of Florida to come here, left there as a number 1 receiver to come into a room that had Travis Hunter in it, and he led in targets and receptions and yards. more than Travis did. So there's going to be delicious opportunity here because there's going to be some exodus here, Tyler. Let's get ahead of this. Everything is going well in Colorado. Everything is pointing up, but there are going to be players who are able to show a glimpse of what they can do and may want to be the number one guy somewhere else and pursue that opportunity. And so you're going to have some folks leave here. But I think with the 9-3 record, with the coaching staff, people want to play in Colorado because they know this is the program that gets you eyeballs. Remember this, Tolly. Only one team in college football had every one of its games on national TV this year, and that was Colorado.
And people
so if you want to be seen playing, this is where you come to play.
And I mean, people said, I don't know if they keep the metric. How long did you watch the game? But I can't think of any game where people were just like, yeah, it's all right. I think I'm going to go do something else. I'm going to go cut the grass. Like you were on it from start to finish, from the rooter to the tutor. Neely, before we go, I have something here. You remember back in the day, I did get a package in Boulder. And I think we should let the people know what I got here. So I got a hat from the Prayers, Dreams, and Faith PDF. Very nice hat. Prayers, Dreams, and Faith. I have not rehearsed this. Oh, I got an envelope. Boy, this thing got some money in it, boy. All right, got a Prayers, Dreams, and Faith T-shirt here.
Yeah.
Oh, no, long sleeve. Oh, sweet. It has gotten cold in Atlanta. I don't know what we got here, Neely. Oh,
you gonna read it first and then read it out loud?
Yeah, no. Let's see. All right, I think this is from Wilbert Gregory Jr. Dear Mr. Tolly Carr, God bless you and your family. What a great job you do on the pregame show. Love your work. So just wanted to bless you as well with a little something. Hope you enjoy the music. Didn't want to leave you out of the blessings. All right, so got a demo tape on the flash drive. There we go. All right, Neely. Cool deal. How's your gift box been overflowing as we get close to Christmas?
Well, good. Brother Wilbert sent me similar things, and man, that prayer and faith. I mean, that's how we got here, Tolly. Like he ain't lying. It's like this ain't just happened. And let me give you some verbal flowers. I don't have a gift to hand you, but every stop along the way this season. I could be in Lubbock, Texas. I could be in Kansas City at the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. It doesn't matter where I went this year, on the road or off the road, someone always says, man, I love what you and Tolly Carr are doing. Love his vibe. Love y'all's chemistry together. Tell him I said hello. Here's the deal, Tyler. When so many people tell you to tell somebody hello, you just don't tell them a damn thing. You just be like, oh, okay.
Right.
And so let me tell you publicly on air, man, the folks out there love you. They love some Tolly Carr.
Man, if it works out to be, first of all, thank you to everyone out there who showed me love, and especially who showed my brother Neely love out on the road. We got to work that San Antonio thing out, man. If they go to the Alamo Bowl, because I ate so good. My father-in-law is such a great cook, man. If I can get another return trip, I think I'm good for maybe another couple of nights stay.
Well, Tolly, I'm gonna tell folks like I tell them about having Boulder when we have a game. I'm gonna be here. If we play in San Antonio, I'm gonna be there. So now we just gotta get you there, and we will do some live content from San Antonio.
Yes. And the weather is good. Thanksgiving, it was cold. It was actually cold in San Antonio for San, because normally it's hot as hell in San Antonio. Yeah. Sorry, brother Wilbert there. It is very hot.
I'm Brother Wilbert to get the racetrack out on here. We'll whoop that ass to get you to stop cussing.
But it's great weather right now. Hopefully it holds up. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But look, a lot of things happening National Signing Day. We don't know what's going to happen right now as we sit here and talk. We don't know if the Alamo Bowl, we're pretty sure it is, but it has to be an official thing. So there'll be a lot of things for us to follow up with here on the Pregame Show Network. And, you know, they'll be running commentary in the comments as you guys watch this in the days to come. So make sure you hang out with us here. Neely, what else do you have for the people this week coming up they can expect?
Oh, man, you just nailed it. As they're watching this is National Signing Day, early signing day period. Sunday, December 8th, we find out truly which bowl we're going to and start mapping out that practice schedule and preparation for that. And then you got the first opening of the transfer portal is going to hit. So it's going to be a very busy December from signing day through the bowl games. Get into January, people start coming back to school for strength and conditioning. Same thing with February. Look, let me tell you this, if y'all didn't know it. College football is an 11-month sport now. And if you go to the national championship, it's a 12-month sport. So there will be plenty of us to talk about, not just with Colorado football, but football in general. And keep in mind, man, that takes you all the way through the Heisman Trophy presentation and other postseason awards, the Invite Bowl games. I think there's 6 players from Colorado going to the East-West Shrine Bowl in Dallas. Then you start having your pro days in the NFL draft. Tyler, we're going to be busy from now to April.
It don't stop. It does not stop. And we don't want it to stop. It is the best conversation to have. College football, Colorado, that's where it is at right now. All right, we got to get out of here. He is Neely. I am Tolly. It's the Neely and Tolly Show. We will check you out. More gray hairs to come. It's giving gray. It's giving gray. It's giving growth.
I love how you broke down the math, though, man. You know, it just makes sense. The more money you have, the more inevitably quarters you have. The more hair you have, the more gray hair you have. I love it. Like, it makes sense.
We're working on both, the gray and the quarters. Thank you for your support. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Enjoy your week. We'll talk to you soon.